Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new Nike Zoom Hypercross trainers. Now as you can see, it does come in your standard orange Nike box. I'll give you a quick look at the label. It's listed as the Nike Zoom Hypercross TR, size 9.5 US. The colorway I have here is Volt and Black, and the retail price sticker is ripped off, but these guys retail for $140 US, making them one of the higher priced trainers in Nike's current lineup. Now this shoe was unveiled and pretty much released alongside Nike's flagship LeBron 12 signature model. That's a basketball shoe. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with it. And the reason why it was released alongside that shoe is because this model, as well as the LeBron 12, shares some similar features in how it has implemented Zoom technology in the sole of the shoe, which we'll get into in just a second. Now, starting off with the colorway, I opted for the all Volt and Black color. I thought I made a promise to myself long ago that I wasn't going to order any more solid Volt shoes from Nike, but I broke that promise with this particular release. I was really indecisive out of the launch colors. I knew I wanted to get it right away, but this one was the one that I liked the best out of the bunch. There are some more subtle colors. There's an all black model, which I was tempted to buy, but I figured what's the point of buying an all black shoe? I went for the very bright Volt yellow, and it is extremely bright. I would describe it as glowing in the dark without actually needing the dark part. So the entire upper, as you can see, is all Volt yellow. It's slightly different shades depending on the material because there are different types of plastic infused on and mesh and just different materials altogether that all have a slightly different shade to them, which I think is pretty evident in the video. This includes the midsole, the upper, the laces, and then the outsole is also kind of Volt yellow. You have a translucent bottom where the Volt kind of peeks through, so it's not quite as intense. But again, if you're looking for something that is bright, this colorway is going to do that for you. If you're looking for something that's a little bit less extreme, I would stay far, far away from this particular color. Now, as far as the aesthetics of the shoe are concerned, I really like it. It's modern, but at the same time, fairly simple. It's not too crazy. You can see that the upper is pretty much a hyperfused type of material. You have a middle layer with perforations made out of like foam, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's very, very thin. Then you have a very open mesh kind of top layer, and then certain areas of the shoe where they want as much structure as possible, they have extra layers of fuse to cover up that. So for the most part, it's a pretty thin but still very flexible and structured type of upper that's going to offer some good breathability, all mesh tongue as you guys can see, but a really good looking shoe overall. Very, very simple. They kept the Nike swooshes kind of right there in the middle of the shoe. They're black in color on both the lateral and medial side. You have your Flywire branding right there, which kind of seems out of place. It's something that Nike does like to incorporate on their shoes, like to let you know what technologies are featured. You can see Nike Zoom right there on the midsole as well. On the top of the tongue, you can see that it does say Nike Zoom Hypercross, letting you know what the name of this shoe actually is. Volt yellow laces. You do have your dynamic Flywire, which is black and silver. The silver parts are actually reflective 3M material, and it's very, very bright, super noticeable. One of the first things that I actually noticed that I couldn't tell in the online pictures when I actually held these in my hands, the inside of the heel liner is this nice kind of textured mesh material. It has this nice kind of premium vibe to it, and that it does have this diamond pattern, which I really like, all Volt yellow in color. The insole, as you guys can see, says just do it. I'll actually remove it for you guys so you can see exactly what it is. It is fully removable, which is nice. No extra glue or anything. It says just do it in black. Volt yellow mesh lining on top, and then it's just this blue kind of ortholite foam material. Very soft, very spongy, so step-in comfort certainly is not an issue. The little pull tab on the back does have your Zoom branding as well, and that's pretty much it as far as the upper is concerned. It's pretty straightforward. The midsole, as you guys can see, is all made from foam. It's a Phylon foam material, Volt yellow in color, your Zoom branding right there. And then you can see that you have these little kind of extension pieces, kind of outriggers that stick out the side of the shoe. It is a little bit unusual. It gives it a very, very modern look. I quite like the look of this. And this goes along with the hexagon Zoom units that have been incorporated on this shoe, which again kind of goes alongside with what Nike has released on the new LeBron signature, the LeBron 12. Now, if I read the press release, if I remember correctly anyways, Nike is saying that the hexagon is the strongest shape in nature. I'm not sure what in nature other than maybe like a honeycomb would actually be featuring a hexagon. Again, it's just an odd kind of form of marketing. But nonetheless, I do think it looks cool. I still am doubtful on how effective it actually is, because you can see that you have these zoom units. I believe on this shoe there are 4 in total. It's not as significant as what you're going to find on the LeBron 12, which has a big zoom heel unit as well. And I'm not sure if it's 4 or 5 under the forefoot, but this one has 4. So the colored ones, you have this pink one at the front, these 2 orange ones in the middle, and then right here in the middle of the shoe you have a Volt Yellow zoom unit, which is very evident. Then you have these little hexagon areas that I believe are just standard foam just to match the rest of the design. And then it all protrudes from the bottom of the shoe, as you guys can see. So it definitely is significant. It has that visual impact that you would expect from one of Nike's flagship signature technologies, if you will. And like I said, it looks very cool. I'm excited to try it out, but I'm still skeptical of how noticeable these zoom units on the bottom of the shoe, between your foot, a thick insole, and a very, very thick Phylon midsole. Like I said, how much of that are you actually going to feel? I would bet that very, very little of it. I'll talk about that more when I actually try these on later in the video. You do have a very similar kind of arrow-like aggressive traction pattern like you find on the Lunar TR1 trainers from Nike. So it is kind of like an all-purpose type of traction outsole, and it is of course designed for performance. So if you want to use this on concrete or even in natural grass, you're still going to get some pretty good traction with this outsole. You can see that you actually have these really deep flex grooves that create this hexagon shape around all of the zoom units. So you are going to get some decent flexibility despite the midsole looking pretty chunky and providing what they're claiming to be as really, really good underfoot cushioning. I'm a little bit disappointed that there's no heel zoom unit or anything like that. Again, that's something they've left only on the LeBron 12. But for $140, it is a little bit pricey, I will say that, but I'm really happy with the final product. I think it looks the part, the quality is there, I like the overall design, and again, I don't really have too many complaints here. I just wish that the launch colorways were a little bit better. I was a little bit disappointed with that, but of course with Nike, especially with a flagship model like this, you can expect plenty of colorways in the near future, which is always nice. So that's pretty much it as far as the details are concerned. Let me know your thoughts on this shoe down below in the comment section, and with that being said, let's move on to a quick on feet, so you can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit and of course how they look. All right, here's a look at the Zoom Hypercross on feet with a pair of shorts. And in terms of how these things look with shorts, I think they look really good. It's a simple design, and as long as you find a colorway you like the look of, and there are going to be plenty to choose from in a short amount of time, you're going to be good to go as far as wearing these casually, either with or without pants. As far as how these things fit and feel, which I think is what most people are curious about, they're very comfortable. I'm really happy with how they feel, but they certainly don't provide that groundbreaking sensation that I think the marketing would lead you to expect with a shoe like this. Now, the cushioning system is obviously the flagship design or flagship technology incorporated on the Zoom Hypercross. You have that Phylon midsole and then the 4 zoom units at the base of your forefoot. Now, what I can say is you definitely can tell that this is not just a standard foam cushion shoe, and it does feel different from any other training or running model that I've put on my feet. With that being said, are the zoom units under your feet super noticeable? I would argue no. You can tell that, like I said, there's a slight amount of really soft cushioning just when you touch down, and then basically those zoom units compress. That's the really soft cushioning, and you're just getting the cushion from the actual Phylon foam, which is not as spongy or as soft from right out of the box as you might expect. So yes, they're very, very comfortable, but like I said, it's certainly not groundbreaking or anything that feels completely different from any other shoe that I've put on my feet. As far as the fit is concerned, it does seem to have a pretty wide fit across the entire foot, but it still has a nice snug sensation overall. You can definitely wear them unlaced very easily if you choose to do that, especially considering they give you that extra lace hole right there. But overall, really comfortable shoes, really happy with how they fit. They'll fit pretty much anybody, and as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9.5 US here, and the fit I would say is pretty much perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair, I would recommend going true to size, even if you do have slightly wider feet. So that's pretty much it as far as what they look like on feet with a pair of shorts, and move on next to what they look like on feet with a pair of pants. All right, here's a look at the Zoom Hypercross on feet with a pair of pants. I think in this particular colorway that I went with that is extremely vibrant, it's probably not a pair of shoes that you're gonna wear with jeans. You could, but I wouldn't personally. I'd probably wear these with some gray sweatpants like I have on right now. I think that looks pretty good, especially because it is more of an athletic looking shoe overall, very modern styling to it. But again, in one of the more subtle colorways, this is definitely a pair of shoes that you can wear on an everyday basis, wear them to school every day if that's your thing. But overall, good looking shoes, very, very comfortably. And while $140 is on the higher price end of things as far as training and running shoes go, I think that they honestly are worth the money if you like how they look and you like how they fit. And I personally find them to look very good and feel really comfortable. So for me personally, they are definitely worth the price of admission. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the Nike Zoom Hypercross trainers. I really like this model, one, because it looks cool, two, because it's very, very comfortable, and it's a very capable shoe, and I like that in any kind of footwear where it looks the part. You can wear it either as a performance model and it's going to be as good as it can possibly be, but you can also wear it casually. The marketing from Nike definitely would suggest that this hexagon zoom unit technology they've incorporated on this shoe is groundbreaking, and I wouldn't necessarily say that's the case, but again, I definitely think that this is a very capable performer if you're looking for a pair of runners, a pair of trainers, or just a pair of shoes that you can wear on a daily basis and be as comfortable as possible and look as good as possible. So again, for the $140, I can definitely recommend this shoe. If you guys are interested in purchasing a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend checking out the review page on my website. There's a link to that down below in the description of this video. It'll actually be the very first link. On that page, you'll find the high quality images of these that I took myself. It'll give you an idea of some of the close-up details that you don't necessarily see in the online stock photos. And you also find buy it now links to all of the currently available colorways if you're interested in a pair of these for yourself. So again, that link is down below in the description. If you have any questions regarding this shoe or any suggestions for other sneakers you'd like to see featured on the channel, leave those down below in the comment section. I definitely will get an answer out to you, and I'm always open to hearing what your suggestions are as far as content is concerned. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. That would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already for more sneaker reviews. All my social media information is down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.